Hello, my name is Wrigley Johnson. I'm going to talk about HTML page elements. Let's see. Okay, so basically the main elements I'll be talking about are the header, the nav, the section, the article, and the aside and the footer. As you can see, this is how they would be laid out on a page. So the header would be up here and the nav would be right here, as sort of a main menu type thing. Section is just where you would have the body copy and the article. The article is just basically the body copy or the blog post or whatever you're posting. The aside would be like related articles or a bio or something like that. The footer would be copyright information, things like that. All right. So HTML headers, we'll start there. The header element represents a container for introductory content or a set of navigational links. So basically it's just like, a header. It's self-explanatory. It's a title at the top of the page. The header element usually includes one or more heading elements, so H1 through H6. And as you go higher, so H1 would be big, H2 would be a little smaller than H1, and it just keeps getting smaller from there. A logo or icon, and authorship information, which is basically like who's in charge of the site, that kind of thing. You can have several header elements in a document, but you cannot put a header within a footer, an address, or another header element. So, yep, you can't put like a header within a footer, which basically you can't have a heading in a footer. So here's an example of how you would code it for a header. So let's say this is an article. It's just like a body of paragraph. And let's see, the header would be, what's at the top of the page. It's separated from this paragraph down here, and it'd be the most important heading. So that'd be the biggest, and then it gets smaller, and then this would just be regular typeface. Yeah, as you can see, you can put other information like paragraphs in the header. It just separates it from the main paragraph. So footers, a footer tag defines a footer for a document or section. The footer includes the authorship info, which we already talked about, is who did the site and everything, the copyright information, contact information, site map, back to top links, which is like when you scroll all the way down to a bottom and they'll have a little arrow like down here or whatever saying, oh, click here this, and you can go up to the top of the page. That's basically what that means. And related documents, so articles, links, photos. So when you get to the bottom of a page and it says, oh, related articles, you click on this, then that's what related documents would be. And you can have several footer elements in one document, and they would just be like one after the other. So here's what a footer code looks like. So here we have the footer. You can put a paragraph in it. Yeah, and this stuff would show up like right next to each other. The section tag defines sections in a document, such as chapters, headers, footers, or any other sections of the document. The purpose is really for organization, for the CSS, so that you can style a certain section how you want and not style the whole page along with it. And it is also to separate sections of the web page, so basically, so you can style it, and so it will be in a different section on the web page. So here's what a section codes look like. So section tags, and then you can put header, paragraph, and that would be like in the middle of the page where the blog post type thing would be. So articles, the article tag specifies independent, self-contained content. So the article should make sense on its own and should be possible to separate it from the rest of the site. So you should be able to take the content from the article and put it in a different site if you want. Potential sources for the article element are forum post, blog post, news story, comment, article, just a main body of paragraph or a main body of information. This is what the article would look like. So article, and then it has a little title and a paragraph, which is where you would put the information. So the aside tag defines some content aside from the content it's placed in. So as we saw in the beginning, it was kind of on the side like this. And should be related to the surrounding content. So it could be a bio for an author. It could be, you know, links to other blog posts or recent blog posts. Aside content could be placed as a sidebar in an article, which is how we saw it before. It was placed on the side like there. Okay, and this is what an aside looks like. So there's a paragraph, there's the aside. And yeah, there's the header for the aside. And it could also be like a note. You could make it pop up and be a note. Oops, been there. Okay, the nav tag defines a set of navigation links. So this is what the main menu would be at the top. So it'd say something like home, about, content, things like that. Not all links in the document should be inside the nav. The nav element is only intended for a major block of navigation links, like a menu at the top of the page, like I was just saying. You could also put a nav like at the bottom of the page if you wanted to do like social media links, but that's a little different. So here's a set of navigation links. So there's the nav, and then here's, you know, all the links. If you wanted to do one at the bottom of a page, you could put like a link to a photo, or you could attach an image and then do the link to that image. And then when they click on like the icon for Instagram or Facebook or something, then it would take them to that website. And that's pretty cool. Okay. The div tag defines a division or a section in an HTML document. And the div tag is used to group block elements to format them with CSS. So in my experience, what I've used the div with is doing like a div ID and then naming that something, and then going into your CSS document and using that name that you just came up with, or that ID that you just created. You can style the div to be different from the rest of the page. So like if you wanted a part of your body copy to be different from the rest, like a quotation or something, then you could put a div on that paragraph, and you could go into CSS and change the settings and make it how you want to look without changing the rest of the body copy. So here's what a div would look like. They did it differently. They probably didn't have a CSS thing with this, but there's div and then style and then the color. So this heading and this paragraph would be this color. Yep, there we go. I think that was the last one. So we'll go up to the beginning and just go over the beginning one again. So here's the header, where you'd put the logo and the authorship, so like WordPress, and then there'd be like a WordPress logo here, and the title of the site. The navigation would be the menu, so you know, about, home, content, that kind of thing, and you should be able to click on each one of those and it would take you to whatever page you're looking for. Section is basically the body of the page, and that's where you would put your body copy. That's what article is. Section is useful for CSS when you're trying to organize information so that you can style it later on. Article, same thing pretty much, and it makes it easier to space out your information. And aside, that's like where you put related articles or a bio or notes for the article or something. And yeah, you could format it different from the rest. Footer is where you'd put copyright information. You could put another nav down here. You could put the social media icons, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's all the information. Those were the HTML page elements. Thank you for listening.